FNAF's endings are one of the most iconic parts of the series, with multiple games having multiple endings aside from the typical win or lose. With FNAF 3, Sister Location Pizzeria Simulator, and now Security Breach all having multiple endings. But what could that mean for the series, and how does this expand into the greater FNAF multiverse? Could these be used against us, and what significance does this have going forward? That's what we're exploring today. Let's do it. Well, the concept of multiple Earths is fairly simple, kind of honestly put. For every moment there is a world where every outcome exists, although they don't all exist at the same time. Using the common cereal metaphor instead of Schrodinger's cat, in the morning you wake up to sit down for breakfast. You have multiple cereal options in front of you: Apple Jacks, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms. There is an equal possibility for you to pick either one of them, and those possibilities exist on their own. But only by picking your cereal do you know what universe you end up in. Okay, I guess it's simple if you're obsessed with this kind of stuff like I am. However, what this doesn't explain is that there's a world where you don't eat breakfast. There's also one where you have Eggos instead. Or hell, there's one where you finally eat those damn freezer burnt pancakes that are staring at you for months sitting at the back of your freezer. All of those possibilities exist, and simply put, when you make a decision, you pick which branch of reality you go down, but the others still happen. So applying this to FNAF, we know that there are multiple endings but only a single canon ending, because this is the ending that continues this branch of reality. The branch where we free the spirits of the missing children in FNAF 3 instead of letting them suffer eternally. The one where we go to the scooping room in Sister Location instead of going home and letting Ennard escape on its own. These are the branches that Scott deems as the one our character follows, but all other possibilities still happen. So there is a world that follows the spirits not being released, and the universe where we do save Vanny from Glitchtrap's grasp. It just so happens that these aren't the stories that we follow any further. Okay, but why does this matter? Because if FNAF ever ends up running out of ideas for how to continue this story, they've perfectly set up a way to revitalize the entire series without having to worry about rewriting the established lore. FNAF Security Breach has 7 endings. That is 6 other game possibilities that we have yet to see, that might not be made, but also might be made. Like, what happens after the worst ending, when Gregory isn't around to try and fix everything? What happens after the rooftop ending, the van ending, or my personal favorite, the phaser blast ending, since it's the first ending I got, meaning that, to me at least, it's my ending, it's my canon ending. The way my Gregory worked was that he went after Vanny. These can all be explored without impacting the main continuity. Hell, they can even test things that they don't want to put in the main canon of the game. Okay, I shouldn't say that. It would be canon, but it wouldn't be in the main continuity. Like, since like canon and continuity are different. But that's only potential, I can hear you saying. Which, firstly, are you complaining about me telling you how we can possibly get more FNAF games? That's a bit confusing. But also, well, yeah, they're potential games. It's not like they've announced any other games outside of the main FNAF continuity. Right? Wrong. Remember that old gem, the Fazbear Fanverse initiative? Oh yeah, baby, that's right. I thought the joy of creation made this into our world. No, this is just one of the branches, one of the variants for those of you who watch the Loki series on Disney+. While yes, they take place in their own universe and are not a part of the main FNAF continuity, that doesn't mean that they aren't a part of another branch. The question is, which one? Well, technically, each of the FNAF games has 2 endings at least. The one where you survive the 5 nights and the one where you die. But to know what ending we are following with these fanverse games, we must figure out what the hell is going on. Firstly, the first FNAF game is getting a remake called Five Nights at Freddy's Plus. Along with that, some older games of the various series will be remade due to them using assets that were either copyrighted or made by uninvolved people. This has to be done for the other part of the project, releasing these series for sale on console and mobile devices in series bundles. Series involved will also end up producing official merchandise like U2's collectibles and plush toys, hopefully Funko Pops. While it is clear that the Fazbear Fanverse games are confirmed to be officially part of the FNAF franchise as a whole, they will remain in their own continuity, okay? So they have like a whole separate timeline, which is why they are getting the FNAF Plus. Although Pop Goes and Five Nights at Candy's are confirmed to take place in the same universe. So Pop Goes and Five Nights at Candy's are in the same universe as each other. So, focusing on FNAF and Pop Goes lore, the description for the first first FNAF game states that Freddy Fazbear's new pizzeria has closed for good, and so another restaurant is going to take its place in the world of entertainment, meaning that we're either dealing with the same closure that made Circus Babies, which exists outside of the games at the moment, or we're dealing with the 1993 closure after the first game. Considering how the first game is also getting a remake and FNAF was released after the first game before Circus Babies was even a thing, we can guess that it's about the 1993 closure. Pop Goes, however, gives us a little bit more. A year after the fire at Fazbear's Fright, a rich and creative inventor in England, only known as Fritz, has taken the role of continuing the animatronic pizzeria brand with his own restaurant called the Pop Goes Pizzeria. Sporting extremely advanced robotic characters such as Pop Goes the Weasel and Blake the Badger, the place soon became notable for being technologically ahead of its time. So this game takes place 1 year after FNAF 3, which should be taking place in 2023 since it opens 30 years after the FNAF 1 pizzeria closed. And the story summary on Pop Goes' wiki confirms this. Quote, Pop Goes takes place in November 2024. The first night happens on the 25th of November. A few days before the game started, Fritz Glade, who is the creator and owner of the Pop Goes Pizzeria, accidentally murdered his daughter, Bonnie Glade, in a PTSD attack. Now her soul is haunting the Pop Goes Pizzeria, waiting for a body she can possess, the Black Rabbit, end quote. But considering how the fire happens after night 6 in FNAF 3, which you can access after either the good or the bad ending, we can't be sure which branch we are actually in here. Since we managed to make it to FNAF 3, since Pop Goes and FNAF take place in the same universe, at least those two take place in the same universe, others might be confirmed to also take place in that same universe. I feel like all the fanverse games in this series should be in the same timeline, but hey, I mean, I don't really know how they can work with Joy of Creation. But we have to assume that we beat FNAFs 1 and 2, and considering how Springtrap never makes an appearance in Five Nights at Candy's or Pop Goes, I'm guessing that in that instance, this time Springtrap was actually burned. Thus the story of the main FNAF continuity would be over, which would make sense since it allows for the actual stories of these games to shine without us worrying about the rest of the FNAF story and how it affects these games, how they end up getting to Security Breach and all that, which I think is probably the best course of action to take. However, I'm definitely looking forward to FNAF Pop figures because I want a Monster Rat Funko in my life. I feel like I need it. Or like the ignited animatronics from the Joy of Creation. That would be dope. I want that. I want all 4 of those. I want ignited Springtrap because that one was sick from the Halloween edition. Anyways, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Showerman Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.